The UK is set to implement a new migrant return deal with France within days, following the ratification of a treaty today. The agreement announced last month by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron is aimed at curbing illegal migration. Under the one-in, one-out scheme, France will accept migrants arriving in Britain via small boats, while the UK will take in an equal number of legitimate asylum seekers with family ties to Britain. The deal, signed last week but not officially announced until now, has been approved by the European Commission and EU member states. Britain's Interior Ministry expects migrant detentions to begin soon. The government plans to return about 50 migrants a week, though the scheme could expand. However, the European Commission has expressed concerns, emphasizing that it will assess the practical details of this agreement, given the rising number of migrants smuggled across this channel. Now we're joined by Keir. He's a former UK minister, joins us live from London. Thank you, Keir, for joining us today. Good to see you. Now, how does this UK-France migrant return deal align with the UK's broader immigration strategy?
Good morning, Asma from London. We don't know. This is a pilot. This is an agreement that was made by President Macron and our Prime Minister Keir Starmer when he came on his state visit a couple of weeks ago. The scheme sounds like a good idea. If somebody comes in here illegally, you return them to France, and then you take from France someone who has been properly processed and found to be a legitimate asylum seeker. So in principle, it sounds like a good idea, but in practice, you're not actually reducing the number of people coming to the UK. What you are just doing is finding a new pathway to allow people to come and settle in the UK. So it doesn't deal with the fundamental concerns of public opinion, which is that too many people are immigrating to the UK without the consent of the British authorities. And if you look at the figures, Asma, 25,000 people have come on small boats into the United Kingdom since the start of this year. Since the election of this new government, 50,000 people have jumped on a boat in France, yes, travelled across the English Channel, arrived in the UK, and have been allowed to live here.
Keir, I would also like, do you think this deal could encourage other European nations to adopt similar arrangement, even though this challenges or this does not solve the fundamental problem?
No, it doesn't solve the fundamental problem. You're quite right, Asma. The fundamental problem is, where do these migrants come from and why are they coming? And the fundamental problem is the source countries. You have to engage directly with the source countries to find out why they are allowing people to leave and why there is safe passage by people traffickers, which enables them to come all the way from North Africa or other countries, far, far away lands, and end up in the United Kingdom. So although I wasn't a fan of the Rwanda scheme, at least that sounded like a deterrent. This, unfortunately, does not sound like a deterrent. So although it's a pilot, which we should welcome and we should test out, I think at the end of the day, it's not going to reduce the numbers of migrants coming to the UK, which is the ultimate aim of our immigration policy. So we'll have to wait and see how effective it is. And we go back to what I said earlier. The best way to tackle this is to do a deal with the source countries, because that is where people are coming from. And I don't think the government quite understands that that's the way to deal with the problem of this type of illegal migration. The French are not doing very much. They've received £500 million 2 years ago when the previous government signed a deal on migration. What have they done for this money? I remember when I chaired the Home Affairs Committee, we went over to the border and we found out that the French gendarmes left at 5 o'clock to go home. So after 5 o'clock in the evening, any person can jump on any vehicle and come to the UK illegally. I mean, there is water between Britain and France. So, strictly speaking, you should be able to know when the boats are setting off from France. Certainly, if somebody was trying to invade France, France would know, and they would send out their forces to stop them. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. It's a new scheme announced today. Let's see if it works. Come back in, say, 2 months to see whether or not it actually has worked.
Yes, indeed. We'll be following up with this news, and always nice hearing from you.